This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Good Monday morning, and thank you for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak at 4:30. I'm Brian Mays. Let's begin with a look at what we can expect weather-wise as we begin another week with Storm Team meteorologist Erica Lopez. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning. Well, the wet weather continues here this Monday. We had several showers and thunderstorms this week, and that's going to roll into the start of our work week. Also, temperatures, at least they're pretty cool and comfortable out there. We're waking up to temps in the 60s, but expect rain shower activity likely on your morning commute as you're heading out the door, and also throughout the majority of our morning. Lots of clouds out there, running into some spotty showers across Travis County. The majority of it is scattered around our viewing area, though. 64 right now for ABIA. You can see some lightning off into the distance there. 63 degrees right now in Camp Mabry and dew points in the 60s, so not too bad. But take a look at all the weather going on around central and also eastern Texas. Dallas, some moderate to light rain shower activity, some heavy storms between Austin and Corpus, though. And then we do have some cells that have begun to fire it up around Burnett County. Those are moving to the north and east. Also from Williamson County up north, those are moving to the north and the east. Also looks like our heaviest rain right now throughout the viewing area just south of Cameron. And again, this is going to be the story of this Monday morning. We'll have several showers that will pop up, and some may be strong to heavy. Not expecting severe weather today. Just keep in mind that showers are likely for your morning commute. Here's a look at your forecasted high temperatures. Brian, a rather cool, comfortable day in terms of temperatures and humidity levels. It's just the rain that will make still our Monday a little bit on the gloomier side.
Erica, thanks a lot. Texas one step closer to a so-called bathroom bill that would require people to use the bathroom that aligns with the sex on their birth certificate. These bathroom restrictions the Texas House approved last night would only apply to public schools. The House of Representatives tacked this on as an amendment to a Senate school safety bill that otherwise deals with emergency plans for things like natural disasters. With the bill, transgender students at public schools would not be permitted to use the bathroom of their choice, but could use a separate single occupancy restroom if available. The House should give the bill a final approval today. A bill that would change abortion laws in the state making its way to Governor Greg Abbott's desk for approval. On Friday, the House of Representatives passed the Senate Bill 8, which bans women in Texas from getting late-term abortions. It would require clinics to bury or cremate fetal remains after an abortion is performed and bans the donation of fetal tissue to medical researchers. This morning, President Donald Trump is in Israel for his second stop in his 9-day trip overseas. Live pictures here from Tel Aviv. During his 5-country journey, he will meet with some of the most important figures in the Middle East and Europe. ABC's Elizabeth Herr explains what's on today's agenda for our president.
President Trump's first foreign trip since taking office, forging ahead with a packed agenda in Israel. First, meeting with the Israeli president this morning, then visiting the Western Wall before ending the day with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Mr. President, we look forward to your visit. The citizens of Israel will receive you with open arms.
The warm welcome coming on the heels of a whirlwind weekend in Saudi Arabia for President Trump.
A better future is only possible if your nations drive out the terrorists and drive out the extremists.
Wrapping up his 2-day visit there with a speech that included a message of unity and a challenge for the Muslim nations to take the lead in the fight against terrorism.
Drive them out of your communities. Drive them out of your holy land. And drive them out of this earth.
But his message as president, notably missing a key phrase he deemed crucial as a candidate during his campaign.
Radical Islamic terrorism.
President Trump also never once mentioned human rights in his speech, which, according to aides, were addressed behind the scenes. But publicly, his message was clear.
We are not here to lecture. We are not here to tell other people how to live.
And today we learned the direct flight from Saudi Arabia to Israel marks the first by a U.S. president because the two nations do not have diplomatic relations. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Washington.
Former FBI Director James Comey has agreed to testify in a public hearing before the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee after Memorial Day. Comey's not spoken publicly since President Donald Trump abruptly fired him less than 2 weeks ago. Now, as he prepares to testify publicly, there's a new glimpse inside the meeting between the president and the Russian foreign minister. President Trump's inner circle acknowledging that the subject of the FBI director's firing did come up.
The firing had been in the news, but I didn't know in advance that the president was going to raise it.
That controversial meeting took place just one day after James Comey was fired. President Trump has acknowledged that the Russia investigation was on his mind when he fired Comey. The investigation is now in the hands of a special counsel as well as multiple congressional committees. Happening today, officers will begin handing out tickets to drivers who aren't buckled up behind the wheel. It's part of their click it or ticket enforcement for Central Texas. Police preparing for Memorial Day weekend when lots of people are expected to be traveling. Officers will also ticket passengers who aren't wearing seat belts and parents who don't have children in the correct booster seat. Drivers who don't click it will face up to $200 in fines, up to $250 if kids aren't properly buckled in. The enforcement expected to end on June 4th. It's going to be a busy time for travel this Memorial Day weekend, both on the roads and in the skies. AAA predicting more than 3 million Texans will be traveling this coming holiday weekend. Nearly 2.8 million of those will be driving, so be sure to plan accordingly and stay safe out on the roads. Starting today, police in Cedar Park will be cracking down on drunk drivers. The enforcement campaign coincides with graduation ceremonies and, of course, the Memorial Day holiday weekend. The event runs through June the 4th. Here at KVUE, we'd like to remind you, Drive Alive Austin, our station-wide initiative. Don't get behind the wheel if you've been drinking. We have resources to help you find a safe and sober ride home on our website, KVUE.com. 4:36 now. This week, family and friends will come together to remember the firefighter who lost his life in a mall fire in San Antonio last week. 31-year-old Scott Deem risked his life battling that 4-alarm blaze at San Antonio's Ingram Park Mall on Thursday night. Started in the middle of the night at a gym there on the strip mall. The fire was so intense it caused parts of the building to collapse. 2 other firefighters were injured. One suffered severe burns, is still in critical condition this morning. Now, Deem served in the department for 6 years. He's survived by his wife, who happens to be pregnant, and 2 other children. His family planning a rosary service Thursday. His funeral will be on Friday. The location has yet to be announced. The Del Seton Medical Center at the University of Texas is now open. This comes after UMC Brackenridge shut down over the weekend. At Del Seton Medical Center, the rooms are a bit bigger, the technology more advanced, and it's bringing surgeons from some of the best medical schools in the country. There's also a new major trauma center.
It's really going to up the game, not just for healthcare in Austin, but really for all Austinites. This is going to bring capabilities we haven't had before.
Nearly 100 patients were moved from UMC Brackenridge to the new facility yesterday, just right across the street there. They used 14 ambulances with mechanics on standby to make sure the transfer went smoothly. Here's what UMC Brackenridge could turn into in the future. Developers say it'll become a community of office buildings, apartments, and shops as well. If your teenage kids need a job this summer, how about having them apply to be a lifeguard? Austin Parks and Rec hiring lifeguards ages 15 and up for the 2017 summer season. Today, Parks and Rec hosting an event where applicants can get information on being a lifeguard, cashier, swim instructor, or a swim coach. This will take place at the Aquatics Administration and Training Center from 4 to 8 p.m. today. The address there on your screen. You'll need to bring a valid ID, Social Security card. Applicants that are 15 to 16 years old are required to have a parent present during the interview. Starting pay for all jobs is $13.50 an hour. Also, there are some parasites you should be aware of before taking a dip in the pool this summer. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warning families about a parasite that could be lurking in the waters called crypto, and unlike most bacteria that can be wiped out with chlorine, crypto is really hard to kill. It spreads through human feces. It can make you really sick if you contact it.
You like to think people use common sense and don't do this, but they'll either go swimming shortly after a bout of diarrhea. They'll let their kids go swimming after a bout of diarrhea.
Now, the CDC says there are some things you can do to prevent spreading the germs. Don't let your kids swim if they're sick. Don't let them swallow pool water. Rinse them off in the shower before they go swimming, and make sure to take them for bathroom breaks often. Turning back to our forecast now, we had some rain overnight in the area. Erica Lopez updates us now on the situation out there. Hey, Erica.
Hey there, Brian. Yeah, and some scattered showers still remain across your viewing area. We're talking showers and thunderstorms likely for your morning commute, so keep that in mind. The heaviest showers that we see that are developing and becoming a little bit stronger are mainly for our northern counties, and also decent rains happening just south of us, south of I-10. But expect these rain shower activities to kind of redevelop into the morning. That's going to keep things busy. But here's what's going on right now. Some heavy to moderate rain pushing through Milam County. We do have some lightning detected with these cells, and these storms are continuing to push to the north and the east. So Cameron, expect some rain in your area just as of now. And also Lexington, a cell is heading your way, and also along 77. That is for Lee County as we're tracking some of those storms. And also now traveling to the north and east, just northeast of Burnett County. Also some moderate to heavy rain showers is what we're seeing. So here's what we're calling for your rush hour forecast. A 70% chance of some showers as you're heading out the door. For the afternoon commute will clear out, but still some widely scattered showers are expected this afternoon. But I think, again, Brian, the busiest activity of the entire day will be mainly for the morning and pretty much for the first half of the day. Back to you.
Something to watch, Erica. Thanks. The oldest living World War II veteran expected to stay in an Austin hospital for the next few days. Richard Overton battling pneumonia this morning. His family admitted him to St. David's Medical Center Friday for a fever. He's been taking antibiotics and is doing much better. But according to a relative, he is doing much better. Overton celebrated his 111th birthday last week. You may remember. We, of course, wish him a very speedy recovery. A ticking time bomb, a major warning for parents after a young girl is partially paralyzed. The tiny culprit responsible and what doctors want you to hear. And more sharks have been spotted in popular tourist destinations. This morning, the new technology that could just save your life. Stay with us.